Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really clever attack that turns the very tools you trust the most, think Microsoft OneDrive and SharePoint, into the perfect weapon for cybercriminals.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a number that should really make you sit up and listen. According to cybersecurity firm Proofpoint, you are 7 times more likely to click on a malicious link if it's coming from a legitimate Microsoft domain like SharePoint or OneDrive. And why is that? Well, it's simple. We're trained to trust them.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It all leads back to the first stage of this whole heist, which actually starts with this sort of invisible break-in, long before you ever see a shady link.
Right, so the key to this entire operation is getting their hands on a legitimate account inside your company. And the attacker's favorite tool for the job is something called infostealer malware. You can think of it as their skeleton key to your entire digital world.
Now, what's so crucial to understand here is that these aren't some loud, system-crashing viruses that announce their presence. No, these are quiet, super efficient thieves. They're built for just one thing: to steal your credentials without you ever even knowing they were there.
So let's talk about how they trick people into installing this stuff. It's all about exploiting our everyday habits. They use tactics like SEO poisoning, right? Where they set up fake download sites for popular software that actually rank high on Google. Or, get this, they'll pretend to be recruiters on LinkedIn and send you a coding test that's really just a malware installer. It's sneaky.
Okay, so once an attacker has those stolen credentials, they don't have to kick the door down anymore. They can just unlock it and walk right in. And this is where they shift gears into the next phase, turning a tool you use every day into a weapon.
Their plan is it's simple, but it is devastatingly effective. It's a 4-step process. First, they log in as a real employee. Then, they pop over to that person's OneDrive, upload their malicious file, usually a PDF disguised as an invoice or something, and then they just create a normal sharing link, exactly like you or I would.
And this is exactly how they build the perfect Trojan horse for their phishing attempt. In the cybersecurity world, there's a name for this: tainting shared content. What they're doing is corrupting a trusted space so they can move laterally inside the organization, hopping from one user to the next.
And here we are. This is the moment the trap is finally sprung. And, it works so well because it hijacks the complete and total trust you have in your company's own systems and, of course, your own colleagues. You have to hear this. This quote from a system administrator on Reddit just perfectly sums up the problem. The email notification you get, it's not a fake. It is a real notification from Microsoft telling you your coworkers shared a file. It just sails right past all the usual security filters because, technically speaking, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the email itself. So let's walk through what you, the victim, would actually see. An email pops up from a name you recognize. The link looks totally legit because, well, it is. It points right to your company's SharePoint. So you click it, you open the PDF, and it looks like a totally normal document. But buried inside that document is one final link, asking you to view the invoice or sign the contract, and that's the one that unleashes the malware.
The difference here is just devastating. For the user, it feels like a completely normal everyday task. But for the attacker, that one single click is a massive data heist. It gives them everything they need to take over your accounts.
So, what happens when that final link gets clicked and the info stealer starts running on your machine? What's the attacker's ultimate prize here?
Well, the malware quietly scrapes an incredible amount of valuable data right off your system. And we're talking about everything. Every password saved in your browser, your session cookies that keep you logged in everywhere, your autofill data, even your crypto wallets. It's all neatly packaged up and sent straight to the attacker.
And here's the most alarming part. Detection often happens after the theft is already over. This malware is designed to be fast and silent. By the time your antivirus finally raises a red flag, your data could already be for sale on the dark web. And that is why prevention is so absolutely critical.
Okay, so now that we've completely taken this heist apart piece by piece, let's get to the most important part. How do we build the walls higher? How do we stop it from happening to begin with?
A strong defense is always going to be a mix of technology and just plain old human vigilance. If you get a file you weren't expecting, always verify it through another channel. Use multi-factor authentication. Seriously, it's one of the best defenses out there. And most importantly, just scrutinize the context. Ask yourself, if I'm already logged into my work account, why would this document need me to log in again? And for all the IT admins listening, there are powerful controls you can put in place on the back end. Microsoft 365 can actually flag infected files the moment they're uploaded, and you can use a pretty simple PowerShell command to block anyone from ever downloading them, which cuts the attack chain right at the source. So we'll end on this thought. As platforms like OneDrive and SharePoint become the absolute backbone of how we work, our natural instinct is to trust them completely. But the attackers know this, and they have become masters at turning our trust into their greatest weapon. The real key here is making sure our digital caution evolves just as fast as our digital convenience.